What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Before we get into the video, like and subscribe. It's always free of charge. If you guys like goat format, Edison, Tengu plant, half format, some of those more niche retro formats, we have it all here. So today we're doing psychics. We got 40 card main, 15 card extra for Edison format. At this point in time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, psychics are pretty much a complete archetype. Way more than enough support. I think they have like 4 synchro monsters, which is crazy. I think that's the most of any archetype. Even Blackwings only has like 3. Alright, to start off with, we have Overdrive Teleporter. He's going to be your like one of your best boss monsters in the main deck, I guess. He's not that big. I guess I can't call him boss monster, but he definitely facilitates a bunch of plays and gets to an instant synchro playoff. He says this card can be special summoned. So he is a tribute summon. He's level 6, so he only requires 1 tribute. You can pay 2,000 life points to special summon 2 level 3 psychic type monsters from your deck. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. So that is the downside, but then he's still psychic beater after that. For some targets, we have 3 psychic commanders. They are level 3 tuners, and we have 2 mind protector. He is a level 3 non-tuner. That is his primary purpose. He is also a 2200 defense. It says this card's controller must pay 500 life points during each of their standby phases. If they cannot, destroy this card. Monsters with 2,000 or less attack cannot declare an attack except for psychic type monsters. So he actually has a decent effect now that I think about it. And then Psychic Commander, he's just gonna add and subtract attack from psychic monsters based off paying life points. Just a little bit of an effect there. He says when a psychic type monster you control battles during the damage step, you can pay life points in multiples of 100, maximum of 500. To have the monster it's battling lose that much attack and defense. So again, decent effect, but for the most part, you're just going to bring these guys out and go to level 6. Or you can use Psychic Commander with a different Psychic, do a different level. Next up, we have 3 Dr. Cranium. This is going to be the last 3 of that we play. He's got a really good effect. He says, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can pay 800 life points to add 1 Psychic type monster from your deck to your hand. So he's just going to really help getting the ball rolling. We would play 3 of this, but it's limited to 1. We're playing the 1 of Mind Master, broken card. You could pay 800 life points and tribute 1 psychic type monster except Mind Master to special 1 level 4 lower psychic type monster from your deck in face up attack position. So for some more psychics, these are like E-Telly targets, a couple of them, and a couple of beaters. We got Psychic Snails, a 1 of, Psychic Jumpers, a 1 of, Krebins, and Destructotron. Not much to say about these guys. I really just want to get into the rest of the deck, so here we go. We got 2 Giant Rat. So there is a card called Pandaborg, which is essentially the floater for psychics. But Giant Rat is just better. So you might as well play Giant Rat. I mean, most of these guys are going to be Earths anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, we have some power cards. We got Gores, Trajodia, and what synergizes very well with this deck is going to be 3 Battle Faders. Battle Fader is going to allow you to stop their attack, get a free body on board, end the battle phase. And that's instant 1 tribute the next turn for Overdrive Teleporter, which is really nice. It's synchro fodder, it's tribute fodder for other stuff. So just really good. Battle Fader is kind of a staple in any psychic deck. You got to play it. That is it for the monsters. Let's get on with the spells and traps. Alright, to start with, we have Ultimate Rare First Edition E-Telly. It's pretty nice. That is limited to 1, otherwise we would play 3. This deck is ridiculously stronger before the ban list that affected like him and Mind Master, but we'll play whatever they'll let us play. Then we have this really powerful card called Telekinetic Power Well. There's literally a deck called Welladad that abuses this card. The Well and Welladad is named after this card right here. It says special summon any number of level 2 or lower psychic type monsters from your graveyard. But you take damage equal to the total levels of those monsters times 300. So you could just literally, if you had 5 of them in graveyard, you can get 5 out. It's like a soul charge. It's quick play too. It's crazy. Next up, we're playing 2 Psychokinesis. It says activate only while you control a face-up psychic type monster. Destroy 1 card on the field and take 1,000 damage. So it's instant spot removal, back row, front row. Doesn't matter. So that's why we like it over cards like MST or what's the one? Soul Taker. I don't remember the name of the card. The card that just pops a monster. I think that's what it's called. Next up we have 2 Brain Research Lab and the 1 Terraforming. Opting to play the 1 Terraforming just as a deck thinning option rather than just playing 3 of these. Brain Research Lab says once per turn, you can normal summon 1 psychic monster in addition to your normal summon or set, which is crazy because, again, that allows you to instantly normal summon using your normal summon, then go into this guy using another normal summon. If successful, place 1 psychic place 1 psychic counter on this card. You can only place 1 psychic counter on this card. You can also place 1 psychic counter on this card instead of paying life points to activate any psychic monster's effect that you control. When this card is removed from the field, the controller of this card takes 1,000 damage for each psychic counter on it. So that's the downside, but in the meantime, you won't pay cost if you want to do that. And then also get your extra normal summons. Mind Master is a powerful ass card, so we got 1 for 1. Not only do we have him as a target, but we have Dr. Cranium, 3 of them. So you got 4 level 1 targets in the deck, technically 7 if you want Battle Fader, which is why that card's also good. Next up we have Brain Control, honorary psychic card. Just being able to take people's brains and operate on them in the Brain Research Lab. But again, we do the tribute summoning thing. We're a synchro deck, so Brain Control makes total sense. Synchro deck plays Mind Control as well. Heavy Storm, Giant Shrunade, a little more impactful in this deck to have blowout cards since we're going in with so much damage because we can OTK pretty easily with Overdrive Teleporter. So I just opted to play Giant Shrunade instead of MST. Next up, we have 2 Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus allow us to get those power cards like E-Tele, Overdrive Teleporter, Mind Master. Just a lot of great targets in this deck for Gold Sarc. And you really want to teleconnect power well. And you really want to storm them all at once, which is why we want to set up for good plays and then have blowout cards to go in for game. Next up, we have just 2 traps. We're pretty much just an all-offensive deck. We're playing 1 Mirror Force and 1 Torrential. You don't have to play too much battle traps because we get a lot of value from actually being attacked. We have a 2200 Defender here. We have a card that lets us search. We got our floaters and giant rats. We have gores. We have trag. We have battle faders. You really don't need too many defensive traps, but we will play 2 of them, so we'll just play the biggest blowout ones. We'll play Mirror Force and Torrential. Next up, we have the extra deck. Like I said, there's a crazy amount of actual psychic synchros. It has by far the most support. Pretty much any archetype, or just, that's not even archetype, is it? Just type, just pure type. The most amount of support for the new ones at this point in time. Obviously, Warriors have a crap ton of support, but like Psychic is relatively new. Around Edison, it came out just before it. All right, so first up, we're playing 1 Magical Android, level 5. Everybody plays this generically in decks, but I'll just read the effect again in case you don't know what it does. It says during the end phase, gain 600 life points for each face-up psychic monster you control. So most people just use this generically as a level 5, and then they gain 600 because it's itself as a psychic. But you can gain a crap ton of life points. And that's what the synchros usually do. The main deck monsters burn life points, and the synchro monsters gain life points. So then we're playing 1 Psychic Life Transfer. Psychic Life Transfer says once per turn you can remove or play 1 Psychic type monster from your graveyard to gain 1,200 life points. We're playing the level 8 Thought Ruler Archfiend, another card that's just used generically in decks. He said when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, gain life points equal to that monster's original attack. And then you could pay 1,000 life points to negate the activation of a spell or trap that targets 1 psychic monster you control and destroy it. So he's a crazy boss monster for us. And then we're playing 1 Hyper Psychic Blaster. Hyper Psychic Blaster says 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner psychics. So he's the only actual one that has to be used in psychics. The other ones, even though they're psychics, they're generic, just 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, which is why you often see these guys splashed into decks. But Hyper Psychic Blaster says, and by the way, he's a level 9. He's one of the few in the format. He says during battle between this card and a defense, He's going to do piercing damage. And then if he attacks a defense pitch monster who is lower than the attack of this card, gain life points equal to difference at the end of the damage step. Next up, we have some generic synchros because we are a synchro deck, so we'll just play them anyways. We have the 1 Armory Armor, level 4. For our level 5, we got Ally, Justice Catastor. Level 6s, we got YUGIOH and Bryonic. 7s, we got Black Rose and Ancient Fairy. 8s, we have Stardust, Colossal, and Avenging Knight Parshath because we play a lot of light non-tuners. And then for another level 9, we have Mistworm. It's super easy to make level 9s in Psychics. I mean, it should be when they have a card called a Hyper Psychic Blaster. So if you don't need that like piercing and gaining effect, you can just blow out their field with Mistworm. And then lastly, we're playing the 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, just for that auto advantage against machine decks. Alright guys, that's it for the profile. If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And again, if you like Go, Edison, Tengu Plant, hat format, we got all here, so stick around for more. Peace out.